Retirement planning should be more than just talking about investments. You want the confidence to enjoy this special time of your life. If you want more from retirement, you've come to the right place. This is the Mark Osler Retirement Experience, the financial pathway to more.
Welcome back to the Mark Osler Retirement Experience, and you can find us online at moretoretire.com. If it's time to talk about your retirement, let's sit down and really put some nuts and bolts to it. Let's do some pencil to paper and figure out, what do you need per month? What is going to come in from the investments that you've had, your 401k, and all that you've done, and do those two numbers match up? And sometimes we'll find that you need $8,000 a month, and what you've got saved is going to get you $7,000 a month. Now we've got some work to do. That's exactly what Mark does, and we'd love to do it for you. Give us a call, 984-300-1984. When we think about big companies that manage a lot of money, you think about Vanguard, you think about Fidelity. There's another one out there called BlackRock, and you probably have heard that name. The guy who runs that is Larry Fink, and he's on regularly on the financial networks. They handle about $11 trillion, so they've got a lot of money. And Larry just recently said people are increasingly turning to the markets to finance their retirements. Now, that's not an outrageous statement. We all have money in the market. If you have a 401k, you've probably got mutual funds, index funds. That money's in the market. But the question is, how much? Mark, when you sit down with somebody from a percentage standpoint, we hear these 60-40 portfolio, 50-50, 80-20, whatever. Is there a number, a percentage that people usually land on when they are going into retirement? Instead of a 60-40, is it a 40-60? Or what, is there a common place where people land?
I'll be honest with you. It's all over the spectrum.
Okay.
I get things, folks come in, and I just try to analyze their risk tolerance and what they want to accomplish. And once we do that, we have an idea of what we can propose. But if you, let's just say, for example, you bring a brokerage statement to my office, the first thing we'll do is we'll talk about it, and then we'll run a report, and we'll bring that report to you. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about, what you're trying to accomplish, and maybe where you have too much money in one area, or maybe you're not getting the returns you're looking for, or maybe you need to get them a little bit more conservative. So that's one thing. Another thing is this. Let's just say you have a relationship with a broker and they tell you not to do an annuity, or they tell you to run. Well, I'm going to push back on that, because they should come into my office and get educated about annuities and understand an annuity is really not for liquidity. You want to have non-liquid money in there, but it's based on certain planning provisions. So for me, Randy, a lot of people like to use the rule of 100. 100 minus the person's age tells us how much money we should have at risk. So 100 minus 60, the person's 60 years old, 40% at risk, 60% safe. Mm-hmm. But if they're a little more aggressive, we could do 60-40, where they're 60% aggressive, 40% safe. But when I say safe, Randy, I'm talking about only the safe features. Yeah. I'm only talking about CDs, treasuries, and annuities. Outside of that, it's not, okay? When you're talking about just general market money, I don't care if it's a bond, okay? What happened to Lehman Brothers, right?
What happened to Enron? Remember that?
What happened? Oh, my gosh.
Everybody had 100% of my money in the company stock, and then that company goes belly up. Oof.
Oh, boy.
Terrible.
Talk about hurting, because that stock was a healthy stock, but they knew what was happening internally. Mm-hmm. Of course, there was crime there. But again, when we look at this and we understand this, one thing I'll say, we never make the market. We don't make the market. We participate in it. But you don't have to have all your eggs in that basket. Let's do an analysis. Let's do a tax analysis. Let's do strategies so that we can get you in the most favorable places during retirement, so that you feel comfortable and confident in us. So I tell people, go to my website, More to Retire. Do you want more to retire on? Absolutely. moretoretire.com. And like Randy says, scroll down to that page, fill out the information. But if you just want to see my process guide, and we start with that treetop view, it's right on my website. These are great ways and resources where you can look into how we do things. And that's why we do radio and television, and why we do public events and client appreciation events. We want to reach the public, and we want to help.
Thanks for listening to the Mark Osler Retirement Experience. To schedule a meeting about your retirement and the financial pathway to more, go to moretoretire.com. That's moretoretire.com.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Mark Osler Retirement Experience. Mark Osler Retirement Experience is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC, registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Mark Osler Retirement Experience are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risks, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing carrier. This radio podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be considered as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Mark Osler Retirement Experience is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute legal or tax advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein are provided by third parties that have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Mark Osler Retirement Experience.